What's up YouTube? It's me, Jess, and I'm an opera singer. Today's video is Patron Pick of the Month, and for this month they have chosen FKA Twigs performing Cellophane from NPR Music's Tiny Desk concert. Let's go.
Didn't I do it for you? Why don't I do it for you? Why won't you do it for me? When all I do is for you. They wanna see us alone. They wanna see us apart. They wanna see us alone. They wanna see us apart. And I just want to feel you're there. And I don't want to have to share our love. I try, but I get overwhelmed when you're gone. I have no one to tell.
Wow. There's so much to take in so far. I couldn't pause. I'm just so captivated. So this is part of NPR Music's Tiny Desk concert, and where this song sits within the whole concert portion is towards the end. And so I didn't really know exactly where to start. So I started a little bit before the actual song began, the ending to whatever song came before this. And I'm glad I did, because the transition from the ending of that song into this next one was just all connected, almost like it was just a part of one big piece with different movements within it, if that makes sense.
Didn't I do it for you?
And I thought that was really clever and unique, and something you just don't really hear too much in the pop world. There's so much complexity to this piece, even though there is a lot of openness within the sound. The music is pretty abstract, at least the strings are. When the piano comes in, it's not as abstract, but it still lends to the abstractness of it.
They wanna see us alone. They wanna see us apart. They wanna see us alone. wanna see us apart. And I just want to feel you're there. And I don't want to have to share our love.
And to have that depth factor in this piece when there is such little instrumentation, there's not a lot going on. I only hear a couple of instruments, but to feel that much presence with such little instrumentation is really powerful. There's so much you can do with open sound, and so I find this very interesting. And then of course her voice, and not only her voice but her interpretation of the text. You've got 4 lines all with question marks. It's asking similar questions from different perspectives. So the first 2 lines are referencing the person who is speaking and how their actions are being portrayed to another person. The first line reads, "Didn't I do it for you?" which is a yes or no question. And it also refers to the past, didn't. Second line reads, "Why don't I do it for you?" This question requires a bit more expansion in terms of the answer, and also reflects on the present. Why don't I do it for you? Then the third line reads, "Why won't you do it for me?" And this is maybe assuming that the other person should know what they should be doing in order for the person asking the question to be fulfilled. But then that connects to the last line, which reads, "When all I do is for you." Now that I'm rereading this, "Don't you do it for me," I don't think that the third line should have a question mark. I think it reads, "Why won't you do it for me when all I do is for you?" question mark. That's how I would read it. However, I can kind of understand why you might put a question mark on all 4 lines. And the way that the 2 play with each other, the instrumentation and the words and the delivery of the text, it's just a beautiful melting pot of feelings, honestly. Now, thinking of the title, Cellophane. Cellophane, you know, that clear plastic that is usually used in, I think, gift wrapping and whatnot, also reminds me of the instrumentation, the sound, and the voice. It's bare, it's open, it's just a very vulnerable feeling, what I'm getting from this performance so far. And that's what Cellophane does. Cellophane reveals all of the contents within it. And I think that play on cellophane and what it does in terms of its definition, it protects, but at the same time, it reveals how that is connected to what is happening instrumentally and vocally. They're providing a lot of information, but with not a lot going on, which leaves all of this room for emotions and vulnerability to be revealed. This is like a playground for an analyst like me. When there are moments when there's a pause or there's just a waiting time for you to come in and interrupt whatever just happened before, what you do with that moment is so powerful, you all. And making people wait for what you have to say puts them in this, like, where you're like this on your seat, you know what I mean? Where the anticipation is so high that it creates this level of vulnerability for you as a soloist and for your audience members. It makes the connection between your audience member and you so close. I love that she chose to put the mic right by her mouth and make us wait for her to interrupt the sound that was before in order for her to say what she needed to say.
Didn't I do it for you?
That only adds to the emotional intensity of the lyrics, which first say, "Didn't I do it for you?" That is a deep, loaded question. She's probably thinking about a lot of things before asking that question. Like, should I be asking this question? No, yes, I should be asking this question. You did this on this date. You did this 4 months ago. I did this for you yesterday. You didn't do this for me 5 hours ago. You probably got all of these past memories rushing through your brain before asking a heavy loaded question like this. What better way to illustrate that than by taking your time to ask that question and using that time to kind of go through the complexity of all of the things you're feeling during this moment. So smart.
Didn't I do it for you?
The last thing I want to talk about is the different registers within her voice that she is using during different moments of the piece. But you get lower notes within the stringed instruments. You kind of get a little bit of everything from the piano. And then when she goes into the chorus, I believe this is the chorus, and I just want to feel you're there. She chooses to jump up into her upper register. And I thought that was really interesting because of this idea of openness. We have this idea of openness in terms of sparsity. There's not much going on, but there is so much going on at the same time. And then when she jumps up into her upper register, you still hear the bass instrument and the cello, but now you've got this new part of sound that your ear gets to enjoy. Aesthetically, just a beautiful illustration of how to expand this idea of sound.
And I don't want to have to share a love I try, but I get overwhelmed, all wrapped in cellophane. The feelings that we had. And didn't I do it for you? Why don't I do it for you? Why won't you do it for me? When all I do is for you. And didn't I do it for you? Why don't I do it for you? Why won't you do it for me? When all I do is for you. And I just want to feel you're there. And I our love. I try, but I get overwhelmed when you're gone. I have no one to tell. They're waiting, they're watching, they're watching us, they're hating, they're waiting and hoping. No, enough. Thank you.
Wow. This is one of those performances where you hear your heart beat, you feel your heart beating like the whole time. Does anyone understand what I mean with that? She really knows how to utilize the stage and utilize stage presence without moving. She doesn't need to do anything. You're just captivated by the way she delivers the text. That is really, really powerful and can be very hard to do because you naturally just might want to move around or do things you wouldn't even normally do when having a conversation, just because you're trying to get rid of your nerves or trying to think of something besides your nerves and added tension. She's mastered the idea of a powerful stage presence without needing to move. I feel this piece invaded my personal space, but in a really great way, especially during the part where she took an unusually long time to let silence sit in before she came back to ask those 3 or 4 questions.
The feelings that we had, and didn't I do it for you?
That part where she just looked dead into the camera and acknowledged the silence, so well done. That is not easy to do, you all. I think it would just be natural to sit there and think, okay, this is probably a bit too long to wait. No. Took it to a whole nother level. I loved that. If you liked all that you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Comment down below what other NPR Music Tiny Desk concert I should do a performance analysis of. Lastly, make sure you check out the description box for ways you can keep in touch with me, get access to exclusive perks, and or take a lesson with me. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!